on a second. Sorry, guys, I just ate. Okay. Anyway, welcome, guys, to my channel. Today, we're learning about the Second Green and Tan War. But today, we're doing part 1, which is the origin of the beginning of the Second Green and Tan War. So, let's begin the video and do a flashback. Okay, guys, let us begin the intro, or basically the events that led to the Second Green and Tan War. So, yeah, let's get to it. After Grayton has successfully won Madas over to their empire in the end of the Second Imperial War, Franz Deinheimer, the Chancellor of Grayton, wanted to have at least one colony in Aplastica, so he sent his high commanding general, General Fitzgerald Weber, to Aplastica, along with a small unit of soldiers to negotiate with the country of Baracco, to see if they can make them part of their empire through an alliance. This operation for Grayton was nicknamed Operation Negotiation. It has been a day since Weber's men have landed on Aplastica, and they have managed to set up camp the same time they landed, but the next day, in the early morning, they were soon compromised by Basacha and were confronted by Kandaharian soldiers. But luckily, they had managed to deal with it peacefully without escalating the situation into a fight or a violent upstart to their war. On March 25th, 2023, Azul was informed about a sighting of Grey soldiers on Aplastica and began telling Lumiere of Kandahar to investigate further. Azul later received information from Lumiere saying that the soldiers were there to make a deal with Baracco, which made him more concerned, and called his ally Blutopia to let them know about the situation. On the same day, Lumiere was told by President Azul of Bulgaria to investigate the camp where the soldiers were, and as he did, he began to investigate and saw no problem or anything suspicious, but gave them a time limit up to 4 weeks, and if they weren't gone by 4 weeks, they would be arrested and trialed. So Lumiere called Azul back and gave him the information he needed to know, and the report of any suspicious activity. But after the situation was dealt with, Weber began to write a letter to Franz telling him about their situation. Franz received the letter and was concerned, but he hoped that the negotiation with Baracco went well, but in reality, it didn't. Because on March 26, or a day later, of March 26, 2023, Franz received another letter from Weber. In the letter, Weber wrote, "The negotiation with Baracco failed." So Franz decided to declare war and decided to promote Weber anyway for trying, and since he is the only officer he trusts to lead his men to victory, he decided that he should have the position of commander. Also, Franz wanted his allies to join in the cause, so he decided to write letters to his ally nations, which are Madas, Beta-Felid, and Gostria. As Franz is waiting for General Weber to come back, he wanted his newest general, General Cedric Hertz, to train his army and get them prepared for Baracco. He wanted to call in his allies, discuss battle strategies and preparation for their enemies' attacks. General Weber arrived from Aplastica and was notified about the war, but before he could lead troops into battle, Franz Deinheimer quickly promoted him to commander. The allies have met in Grey Lynn and decided to launch their invasion once their 2 weeks of training were over, and before then must prepare for the invasion and defenses of their country. As for his forces were getting ready, he received a letter from Tenoria asking for help, and Franz replied saying yes, or agreed to help him. Also, since Tenoria is making an alliance with his nation and empire, he figured he could also involve Tasmania on the cause for support and help. On the Halloween of 2021, President Traniff began to make alliances with Red Hot and Budapest to help with their economy and to expand Tenoria's industrialization. After he made an alliance with Red Hot and Budapest, the nation's economy had risen, and since their economy was so great, the three nations decided to form an empire known as the Tenorian Empire. After he made an alliance with Red Hot and Budapest, the nation's economy had risen, and since their economy was so great, the three nations decided to form an empire known as the Tenorian Empire. Anyway, since the nation of Pacifica was discovered, and the other nations have conquered or owned territory there, Tranif was thinking of owning a colony as well, but instead of buying or negotiating, he wanted to convince or force the country of Kegypt into joining their empire. So Tranif wrote a letter to Franz asking for help achieving this goal, which Franz agreed and decided to help him. A month after Hirohito was released, he vowed himself that he would never declare war on a nation unless one of his allies or another empire is in need. On April 6, 2023, Hirohito received a letter from Franz Steinheimer of Greaton asking for help, while their ally Tenoria and their empire tried to conquer some territories in Pacifica, which he accepted because he also planned on invading the southern border of Malat and uniting it as a whole colony for his empire once again. Now we're going to get into a look at the letters of Weber that General Weber wrote to Franz Steinheimer when he was there in the Pacifica, letting him know about their situations that has been compromised and luckily didn't start a violent upbringing. So give him a moment. I guess we don't have it. Well, anyway. So, basically the politics of this is, since Greaton is trying to rebuild its empire from when it was lost from the First World War Plastic, they, instead of conquering and invading nations, they have always made alliances. But when they tried to make an alliance with Morocco, and the Moroccans refused their offer, they had no choice, or had a choice, and decided to declare war. And Tenoria was also expanding its industrialization and economy by making alliances with different nations. So he also wanted to have a colony in Pacifica, since the other allied powers such as Pasaja, Kandahar, Bulgaria, and Gridley have territory in the Pacifican nations they own, and they felt like it's not fair. So they both wanted territory in Pacifica. So they figured, since by working together, and since both nations wanted to occupy territories in Pacifica, they should work together to conquer that. But Tasmania, on the other hand, was arrested from a war that he previously was involved in, which was the second Imperial War. And in the aftermath of that Imperial War, he had lost the colony of Malat, but he still owned a portion of it, which they made the Border Treaty Act, where the northern part of Malat would be under Tasmanian influence, while the southern part would be under Pasajan and Marlantian occupation, which means the remaining Marlantian people have the right to own their own jurisdiction, while Tasmanians have the right to own the northern part of Malat and having its civilians under their rule. Since there was a division, some were loyal to Tasmania and others were loyal to their old government system and the Allies. So that solved the issue. But anyway, he was arrested, trial for his nation, was put in prison for a few months. Then he was released, and he did say that he would never declare war on another nation unless an empire or an ally of his is in need, which Tasmania made alliances with Grayton and Tenoria since they both needed his help into conquering two countries in Pacifica. But Tasmania also figured that since he has made two alliances, one being the powerful nation Tenoria and another powerful nation Grayton with a great strategy, he could use them to help his nation reoccupy Morland and put it underneath his empire again, which was the main big goal. And they decided to become three empires, the triple imperial nations. This is known as the Imperial Alliance. We have the Grayton Empire, the Tenorian Empire, and the Tasmanian Empire. Three of them joined together versus the other nations of the Democratic Monarchy, some other imperial empires, and democratic nations, which would be the beginning. This would be the beginning of. This was actually be the preparation of the beginning of the biggest conflict in Arnhem history, which we will learn about in this next part. So now we're going to get into the announcements slash update, announcement slash update of when the next second part is going to be coming out pretty soon. So let's get into that. Okay, so for today's announcements, just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Recently, I did a eBay Arnhem review, and you guys seem to be liking that a lot. And I'm this close to having 200 subscribers. I'm one subscriber close to 200. And hopefully, any of you who has watched my videos or any of you who is interested in my videos, please subscribe, because once we have 200 subscribers, more content will be coming out very soon. And yeah, anyway, the second part of this first part of the series will be probably coming out sometime this upcoming week. Probably tomorrow and maybe the day after tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. But for right now, it's a setup and it's a plan. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you guys so much for being interested in my stuff. It really amazes me how many people watch my stuff. And I know that I'm not as popular as famous YouTubers, but seeing views on my videos grow and seeing subscribers following me grow really makes me happy. And you guys are doing the best you can, and I like it. So thank you guys so much. More videos will come out soon, and stay tuned for a poll that I'm about to be making for this upcoming month. So basically that will be it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And if we get to 200 subscribers, prepare for the celebration video that I'm going to be probably making once we hit 200 subscribers. If we ever hit 200 subscribers. See you guys next time. Thank you very much.